offload. Was that Juma? Was Douglas Sifuna with the offload. They're building the phases here. Ambale in the middle, steps in. Ambale looks isolated, and he throws the ball, and Kabrak get it back off him. Gift there from Ambale to Kabrak. And now Kabrak having Joachim Machuma just sends the ball out. Is it Alkim Noor? Yeah, coming across. Dummy switch, keeps going. Noor offloads from the back of his hands, but they catch up with him. It was Ruben Konga there, the number 11 Kabrak player, just gifting Blackblood possession, easy possession there. Right in the middle of the field.
Just getting in the groove. Sevens, match day 2, the SportPesa National 7th Circuit. Driftwood Sevens. Thank you so much for those ones who are joining us this afternoon, this evening, this morning, from wherever you're tuning in. Welcome to the SportPesa here. All this courtesy of SportPesa. Most importantly, we are coming to the tail end of match day 2, the business day of the 2025 Driftwood Sevens. To the player grounding the ball in touch. Just looking at the referee. Yeah, grounding the ball over the line. That should be a 22-meter dropout.
Yes, as KU Blackblood makes substitutions here. Coming in is Ian Sam and Ira Druto, who are playmakers for out. But the coaching team here from Blackblood making it clear that, and
another of those classic kicks of yours, Oscar.
Yes, but he goes dead this time.
Another one goes dead. That is another.
It was close. It was a close call, though. It was a close call.
A repeated 22-meter dropout.
They still receive the kickoff again. They still receive the possession.
Oh, player's not probably 10 meters out.
Yeah,
swinging it out wide. That is Ambale. Ambale is well marshaled. Knock on. Referee should be playing an advantage. Good thumping tackle there from the backside. Player off his feet and reaching out. And that should be taken at the mark. Not sure why we have a hold-up in play. Maybe substitution of the touch judge. Not sure. Not sure why there has been a call to the other side. Not sure who's replacing who, what's happening. Play continues.
Player to tie the laces.
I'm still not sure. Quick tap. Good defense. Referee Oak-eyed.
Blackblood kick out, thinking that the game is over, as rightfully so. Again, Walter. But there was time for this line out. Blackblood get the ball back. All they have to do is kick it out. They are under pressure here.
Well, they have to secure possession.
And they eventually is kicked out there by Ira Druto, who came in as a substitution.
That is the 13th place final. Congratulations to Blackblood, who take that first medal on offer this season. I mean, they're the first winners of a cup, a medal category, Oscar.
Well, there is ranking across the board here, because at the end of the day, you have the 16 teams, so it's ranked 1 all the way to 16. Coming in, the ranking was different based on to the next weekend.
Well, ranking, it really matters, yes, and silverware nonetheless for Kenyatta University's Blackblood. An opportunity on the podium also. It's very important for optics You tend to forget that those photo moments. I mean, they're an institution. They would love to be seen somewhere. The institution would be seen that. I mean, the investment in sports probably is bearing fruit. So there are very many important things happening, and commercially also very important for them.
Well, Black Blood have done better in terms of playing in the later stages of the tournaments. So they would have preferred perhaps to be elsewhere, but 13th place is where they are now. I'm sure they'll say that that's not permanent. It's the first tournament of the season. And I'm sure we all look forward to seeing them improve from next weekend. Next game coming up here.
The Monks taking on Stallions. Catholic Monks. Should be a good, entertaining game. These guys, as the cream has risen to the top, they are playing somewhere close to the middle part of the tournament, Oscar.
Yes, they are there and thereabouts, as they say. And all these games will matter eventually. Lots of lessons to be picked up here. It's not pretty when you want to play in the main cup and you still have to play here. But I can assure you, all this time improvement that can be picked up into the next tournament. As we see Stallions here in possession.
Hassan Wambani breaks and scores. Try time, Catholic Monks. Well, that was a moment there, quick knowledge and slippery skills there. He was aware that the defensive line was not aware of that opportunity on the blind side, and he took it up with both hands.
And that's one of the things. I think I've seen teams have their breakdown point in the middle of the field. I've seen some of them going all the way right to the edge of the field. But I think also there's an opportunity here when you go, perhaps not all the way, but around the 15, which still has a space on the outside. It's an illusion of no space there because it's only maybe 5-10 meters. But if you're able to snipe there, we've seen a couple of players.
Thieves in the night, those ones who sneak down the blind side. The person you've just mentioned, Donyala, is a specialist at that. Actually, quick rack for KCB is complete. The first receiver doesn't come. Most of the time, they come, set their feet, and then swing the ball out. He comes full throttle, picks the ball. If you're asleep at the base, he's gone.
Yes, you have to be aware there. Coaches like to call it bounce to the blind side when off a tackle. You have to go blind. You have to put someone blind there. And when defenses don't do that, and even if they put one person, Walter, the scammer can tap the person racking over, and all of a sudden it's an
in a few, we'll be going downstairs to do the polling of the 2025 SportPesa National 7th Circuit second leg, Prince Louis Sevens. We have playing who in the second round, and all this comes through a ranking system 1 to 16 in every pool, and then you'll have the teams as ranked as they finish this competition, and each team will be slotted rightfully into their place. So, I mean, in earnest, as we get to the evening session, Oscar, it's gathering pace, the SportPesa National 7th Circuit.
Yes, in case there was any holding back from any team, as they do say, the pulling, especially after this tournament, is Msemakweli. At this time of the day here, as we see Stallions trying to play out of their 22. The key possession, did he release the ball? No, he should have released that ball, so he's penalized. I think that was Ronnie Karaoke penalized there for not releasing when Ans was tackled, but Quay Monks there asked for scrum down, as we see that replay again of Ronnie Karaoke.
And that's a rookie mistake, right?
That is rookie. He is, after all, a student. Not sure whether he should be allowed to do that, but simple appreciation of the laws there would have kept that position for Stallions. But
Yeah,
Ronnie
he's quite a
got
young
kick.
gun, fresh from high school.
Well, he will learn fast. Like I did say, these games give you lessons nonetheless.
That's Mulinga Dennis fashioning. The ball is shifted back in. You can see Brian Nyambok passing it and actually putting a posture, just spinning that ball and giving it shape as he passes it.
It's called a follow through there.
Yeah, beautiful. And that leads to a try, second try for the Monks. The Monks go over for their second try. Monks 10, Stallions 0.
Yeah, we go again here. Stallions just trying to play out of their area here, but it's real pressure here from Brian Nyamboki. Brian Nyamboki putting real pressure on that Stallions rack. With the ball there is Brian Nyamboki. There is the blind side we talked about. It's a simple fix and pass. Oh, he chooses not to pass. Could he have just simply passed that 2v1? Should be a 2v1. So, and I think, yeah, I think it's a knock on there by Monks. Simon Jawichi will be disappointed with that. Well, about 5 seconds before that, it was a 2v1 situation. And a simple Nyamboki again gets a second chance. Will he go blind again this time? No. Plays it out. Looks like an overlap here if they can feed it quickly. Stallions do well here to put in some defense. They have to release. That looks like a Nyamboki again going wide there. It's a try this time. Eventually they score it on the other edge of the field, about 65 meters across. It's a smash and grab there by Monks. And the lead here 15 points to 0. The missed conversion as we go into halftime. KU Monks, I beg your pardon, Queer Monks leading this one. 15 points, and Stallions Rugby 0.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I can roast, I can gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams into modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Honks. The front door.
Yeah, I think you can confidently say that the Queer Monks have this one.
Oscar, as we draw towards stations would be hard around local rugby. And you know, we work around the World Cup cycle, which is the World Rugby cycle. And our attempt as a country at qualifying for the next World Cup came short against Zimbabwe, who are the eventual winners. As a coach, and also as someone who's involved in this, you've been in several attempts for the nation to qualify for, as the Stallions go over the referee yet to confirm that. You've been involved in challenges that have been in the past an attempt at qualifying for the World Cup. Where next for Kenya Rugby?
First of all, it's no try there. There's an attempt there by, I think it was Zolik Buyuni. But Walter, to go back to your point, that's what was Swahili called the Swahili la Kizushi, because I'm not sure how to answer it. Obviously, World Cup cycles are every 4 years. You would think that if you miss out on one, then you start planning for the next 4 years. Perhaps, hopefully, maybe like next week, some of those officials, when they visit you back in Prince Lu, maybe you can also engage in some of these questions. But one of the things that I've always thought is that if you can convert the assets that we get from what I could call the rugby assets we get from sevens rugby, if you can convert one or two of those into 15s, and what are those assets you get in sevens? Maybe the level of international conditioning that allows players like Wakesa to come through, Amonda in his time. If some of those players can help to boost your 15s game. You did see Johnny Kubu playing for us in that qualifiers you talk about. And there were many moments in that game that you want to think about now, but we have the benefit of hindsight. I think the only thing we can all say, and I'm sure everybody would agree, well, I hope everybody would agree, is that perhaps take the preparation cycle a bit more seriously, invest a little bit more in the preparation. Even as we invest in the future, you did talk about some of the future players you've seen here for the sevens team. You've seen some young guns here these last 2 days. I think the same principle should be applied in our 15s rugby, that if the qualifier is 4 years away, perhaps a 24-month preparation cycle is not too far off, as opposed to the 90 days, I think, if you look at it that way. But it's neither here nor there. We didn't qualify. Zimbabwe did go through, and a good Zimbabwe team, I must add, which was led by some of the under-20 players, some of whom played here in the tournament here in Nairobi about 2 years ago. So my feedback to you, Walter, would be perhaps a 24-month preparation cycle, if indeed resources are a challenge. As Catholic monks score there and lead this one by 25 points to 0.
Well, did say that is a very tricky question. That answer has been quite long. You talk about being professional or investing funds into the 15s game. I would say we need to tweak something about Kenya Cup. I think you can't do the same thing the same way over and over again expecting different results. As the center referee blows the full-time whistle, you have to change a bit of what has been done for the last few years. Look at what they've been able to achieve, see where you can be able to tweak. And we are a reflection of the rugby we play in our local leagues, Oscar. Kenya Cup has 2 or 3 teams that are competitive. The rest aren't. Why? That is the question that needs to be answered. And we need to value the rugby that we play more. We need to change the game. For instance, why are we playing Kenya Cup games on a Saturday at 4 p.m. across the country? It doesn't make sense when you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so you have to do things differently for a start, for you to expect results. You can prepare 36 months before, forget the 24 you've mentioned. But true, at the end of the day...
Well, Walter, what does the data say? Does playing on Friday make a difference? I'm sure.
What I mean by Friday is professional leagues elsewhere have struck TV deals that allow them to have these as products on TV. Also, on a Friday evening, under the lights, you can have a Kenya Cup match, very good game. You'll attract the neutral. You're selling the game at the end of the day. You're attracting the crowd. You wouldn't say we are the most popular sport in the country, Oscar. And we need to do more in attracting numbers to the game. And it's a no-brainer that once you get it right at a competition as big as Kenya Cup, you then have it right at the top. Now, proposal would be simple. Have a salary cap, can be able to attract money. You talked about funds, so everything boils down to money, Oscar.
Just like technology, in my view, money is just an enabler. There's a song by a British artist known as Michael Dapper or Big Shaq, who says, check the statistics. Walter, I'd like to see the statistics over the period of Kenya Cup just to see. I think there's some information we can pick up in those statistics, in some of the things you're recommending, Walter. But it is obviously a conversation that will take time. We're here for the Driftwood Sevens. As we see, we go for the third. As there's a kickoff there by Oilers. I think it was a knock-on, yes, it was a knock-on from Oilers trying to get the ball back. Keep the conversation going. I think that's what we can say, Walter. Keep the conversation going. Obviously, everybody wants to see Kenya in the 15s World Cup. We've been to the 7s World Cup a couple of times. Done well. In the last two, I think we've done... No, the last three, two of them we did well, I think, by any standards. So we also want to see our 15-a-side team play the World Cup and benefit from anything that comes out for the sevens field. Like we see here, Wamalwa kicking the ball down, deep into the Oilers half with a good pressure there from Kenya Harlequins. They look to turn this over, but good recovery there, scramble defense from Oilers.
It's good scramble defense. Menengai Oilers kick to ease pressure. Wainaina on sweeper duty. And that's a forward pass. Albert Alela not definitely agreeing with the referee, but that is a forward pass. Well, it's for you to judge if that was a forward pass. Good camera work there. Queens defending, Oilers attacking. From wherever you're joining us, welcome to the Power Play, the evening session of the SportPesa National 7th Circuit. Pleased to be coming to you live from Mombasa Sports Club, the destination of this year's, the opening round of the SportPesa National 7th Circuit. Dummy, show and goal, that is Amon Omalwa. He is a showman, that Amon. Wainaina, Wangila, Wainaina. Looping round, one pass out wide, and Matthew goes over for that opening try. Kenya Harlequins take the lead against the Menengai Oilers. Matthew. Ouma Matthew continuing from where he left off in the quarterfinals
And yesterday,
semis. And yesterday he's been quite dependable.
he's been a good ball carrier at the edge of the field there.
Yeah, his strike rate comes from the edge most of the time because that is where he plays. I'm not sure if he's a forward or he's a back. Looking at how they form, he forms with the forwards. So he's an outside forward for the Kenya Harlequins. So that ball bouncing back to him on the outside channels. He's fast, big, and devastating with his carries. So Queens have something going there on that edge.
Yes, and we did talk about unsolicited feedback we got this morning from some of the Nondi supporters. I'm tempted to give mine here to George Ambale from KU Blackblood. He got a lot of chances at the edge of the field there, but he kept being bundled into touch. I would ask him to watch Uma Matthew, how Uma Matthew plays the edge of the field there. He's really smart, knows when to keep going on the outside, knows when to step back in, and he scored a lot of tries just by doing that, Walter.
Yes, he has his edge play. Looking for touch and not finding touch. Aman Omalo coming back with a good step on Kipchirchir. Kipchirchir left back. Queens on the attack. They come back. Wangila, Rishel, Ramadan Masete running across. Oilers strong on the defense. The counterattack is good. The ball is open. Referee allowing play to continue. There is Kipchirchir, who kicks through the rack and earning the right to attack. Richard Wangila coming through and defending strongly. Players isolated. Queens with a counterattack. Referee blowing a penalty. See, the referee is called there. That's a high shot, is it? Yes, that's a high seatbelt tackle there by Richard Wangila. Referee rightfully awarding a penalty to...
I think the counter-rack was fine. Yes, it's a high tackle there.
And very minimal. There was no clear release also if the referee was going further. I think he was punishing the high tackle, and that was the first infringement.
Yes, it's a fair call there from the centre man. Even though the Kenya Harlequins bench here not happy, but I think it was a fair call there.
Yeah, it's also very good.
Wasn't too dangerous, but it's a high tackle nonetheless.
Yeah, it's always also very good for us to give feedback to the referees also when such a thing. You know, we have the luxury of the repeats and the resets on TV, the replays. And you can see that a referee made a good decision at that point in time.
They do a lot of work as there's a charge down there by Oilers. The kick attempt here from Kenya Harlequins, but it's a rack contest here. And Kenya Harlequins just keep that in, and now they get a better clearance. Yes, I do agree. The referees have to make a split decision very quickly, and they do most of the time make the right call. Occasionally, they have to be assisted from their colleagues on the touchline, and they are being assisted quite well this weekend. I've been happy with how the officials have managed themselves these last 2 days. Some of it could be position, you could say. Yes, easy for us because we have about 8 cameras here. They just have to make a decision very quickly. I think that's a knock on there by Kenya Harlequins.
Yeah, the referee is playing an advantage. Scrum advantage, which quickly will be evaporating. Long pass. Dennis Abukuse running down the edge, and he's bundled into touch.
Could he have used the fend there? Abukuse, could he have step off his left foot maybe?
The double blast there by the referee, not sure.
I think he could have fended off the defender there.
Paul Musami sent to the bean.
It's a red card.
That is the second yellow. That's a red card.
Musami in his disbelief there, but it is a red card for Paul Musami. Not sure what he did. I think he threw the ball, did he? We'll see from the replay.
That's a good tackle.
I think he tried to kick the ball away.
No, but Paul is the one who made the tackle out, so how did he try to kick the ball away?
No, I thought I saw him the one trying to kick it.
What was the offense?
Not sure what the offense was there. Could have been some chat back to the referee.
Was it a second yellow card or it was a straight yellow card? A red card?
It was a second yellow. Referee was very clear. He showed the yellow and then brought the red because...
But Paul hasn't been sent to the bin.
Yes, I'm not sure what happened there, to be honest. Or initially it was a yellow and then
he
rescinded the yellow then...
But we haven't seen a red card offense.
Well, we may have missed it. I'm sure I'll give the referee the benefit of the doubt. I just said earlier that they are making the right calls here. No referee will give a red card if he's not sure about it. As Abukuse uses his quick feet.
7v6, it's going to be a bit tough taking that ball forward. And they're breaking tackles now. Kenya Harlequins have to hold on strong. Queens concede. Oilers with their first try. And that is a strong, strong response from Oilers, having gone one man down. Kenya Harlequins conceded try at the stroke of halftime as we await the conversion. Dennis Abukuse attempting the conversion. Conversion is successful. Dennis Abukuse quite mastered with his boot. The halftime score, Queens 7, Oilers 7.
Insurance, our insurance partner. Oloch and Kimori Advocates, our legal partners. Umoja, our footwear partner. Love Shoes, Love Umoja. Google Motorcycles, our mobility partner. Moral Solutions, our sanitation partner. Ketia Drapers Limited, our official hydration partners. Jumbo Jet, our tournament transport partners. JTL Fiber, our official communications partner. Lucon Limited, our outdoor advertising partner. Unilever, our tournament roaming partner. Total Energy, our tournament energy partner. Green Concierge, our tournament branding partner. And our nutrition partners, Unamilia Paradise and Pwani Magic Jewelry. Kind reminder, Pwani Magic Jewelry still have the running offer of 30 bubble all drinks. They now have yet another table behind the MC's desk. Pass by, grab yourself a drink at only 30 Kenya shillings.
Kickoff, second half. Kenya Harlequins having to battle out the next 7 minutes, one man down. Kick behind. Menengai Oilers know very well that Queens are playing one man short, so that sweeper is not in place. Dennis Abukuse kicks and chases. Ramadan Masete comes in to save the day. That ball was kicked in goal.
That's probably a scrum for Kenya Harlequins.
That's a scrum 5 meters out for Kenya Harlequins. No, 5 meters out in favor of Oilers.
Yes, with the 6v7. This looks like a tough one to defend.
Well, everybody else is on the line, so nobody is really saying they'll be staying behind to sweep. So all Kenya Harlequins or the Menengai Oilers have to do is the first receiver has to make sure that he stops the first defender and then sends it out wide.
Well, if you're asking how do you defend this one, it's a tough one. I would perhaps see here high-risk defense here. Ignore the last man, do a banana defense here, and press hard. Make sure the ball doesn't go beyond the second receiver or the center. I suspect here the scrum half will come around out with it to create that overlap. I would ask Kenya Harlequins to defend a bit tighter here and ignore that last man and put a hard press. It's a risk, it's high risk. They might have to kick, but I would say put a hard press. And they now it's a shot. Oh, loses his footing there, Kipchirchir, but he still has time to go. But he got over now. They're just at the line. Kipchirchir. He needs to bring it back here for his teammates, and it's a simple dot at the end.
Fortunaturo going over for the try, second try for Oscar.
You said teams will make a difference in terms of defense there. We're just talking about 76 defense. Kenya Harlequins chose to put a scrum half. I think they trusted their system there, Kenya Harlequins. With a quick break there from the, I think it was the loose head prop. Well, prop it nonetheless, which added numbers to the defense and forced their Kipchirchir to step back. but eventually just ran out of numbers there, Kenya Harlequins, and it was an easy dot in the end.
Yeah, an easy dive in. The gates were wide open. Tired feet. Defending one man down. Well, Kenya Harlequins have an opportunity to attack 6v7. Let's see what they are able to conjure here.
Well, in the first line, it is 6v6 because
Dennis Nyongesa tackled high.
I was just saying there that Oilers are defending 6 with the super at the back, so shouldn't be too difficult for Kenya Harlequins. Referee says they didn't go 10 meters. They play quickly. They have to scratch it as opposed to taking a scrum because the numbers are less here to Kenya Harlequins.
So
Abu Kuse with a
6v7.
turnover.
That shouldn't be a turnover. Second bite at the cherry. However, he loses it forward. Well, you were saying that Oilers are defending 6 up, 1
Correct.
sweeper, so that
6v6 in the first line of attack.
yes,
or defense.
so that nullifies that one-man advantage on defense.
Well, it just means that if you're a bit clever, you can still get your overlap. You can create an overlap opportunity, but then again, you'll have to deal with that. Just have to work extra hard because there's a covering defender at the back. So it's still 6v6 when it's on open play. But when it's in a set piece like this, then yeah, it is a challenge. And Dewald here may have to break out to that ball and do a snipe.
Yeah, he'll need to come around just to add the numbers.
Correct.
Create that impression that they have that 3-man 3v3 on the outside.
It will be 3v3 if he gets to come out to that ball. But I'm sure it's a lot of pressure on us come. Yes, he does have to come out. Kicks. That's a good option there by Dewald Juma. This looks like the ball, yes, runs out of, runs into the VIP. But runs out of space there. They do Kenya Harlequins. It's a good option there by Dewald. Force the defense team to come up flat and then chooses to kick. Remember, there isn't an immediate sweeper during of a scrum set piece.
Yeah, everyone was up the scrum half. You can see as Risho Wangila dives into the VIP area.
Well, they did ask for a close-up,
of course,
at the VIP.
Yes, they do.
How close do you get than a player trying to squat try right at your feet there?
That is right. They are right at the heart of the SportPesa National 7th Circuit match day 2. Fortunaturo advances forward. Oilers. Sami goes in, goes out, goes back in. Long floated pass. Makoha Nelson.
Yeah, there's a turnover there. Referee says the turnover is fine, but there was an offside earlier on in the middle of the pitch. Says number 6. Referee just saying that Harlequins were offside there. Line out here for Oilers with the game just winding down here. Harlequins get possession to Harlequins. This is an interesting end to the game here, but that looks like an easy turnover there for, it's an easy turnover there for Oilers. And we should have the buzzer here shortly if our clock is synchronized here. Oilers should be winning this one. And Samuel Moura just kicks that out for Alana, but the referee says it's time for Alana. Then the buzzer goes off eventually. So the referee's time is correct. Moura thought the game was over just like us, but it wasn't. It's a Harlequins throw, Dewald with it. 6-man Kenya Harlequins here trying to equalize here. coming into the Iraq here. Dewald taking high risk here. Dewald is tackled, gets up on his feet quickly, presents again. It's good work by the diminutive scrum half. That pass doesn't go to hand, but at least it went back. Show and go here. Remember, Kenya Harlequins are playing...
Strikes once again, driven into touch.
Killing me, Walter. They are killing me. I did talk about Matthew Ouma playing very well at the edge there for Kenya Harlequins.
But the other edge has an issue now.
But the other side seems to have an issue, but
perhaps
Kenya Harlequins lose this one.
Perhaps Matthew
by
should
7
put
points.
up, set up a way of coaching and advise his compatriots
I'm
on
sure
how to
Matthew
play
still
there.
wants to play rugby. I'm not sure whether he wants to coach, but it's a simple, thanks to SportPesa here and live by, you can just go to YouTube and have a look at some of these replays. Many players have played very well at the edge there. A couple of players have taken some risks. I guess if you're going to score a try, then you go all the way and try to dive right at the edge there. But if you're still doing build-up play, your team trusts that the ball will come back. But then when you get the ball into touch with the buzzer gone, I would think, Walter, that they'll be a bit more cautious. The buzzer's gone. You're down by 7 points. Would you still go all the way to the edge?
It's a risk you run by going very close to the touchline. So it's important for you to know that you need to recycle that ball if you'll not have a line break. So it's a very frustrating way to finish a game, and it really sucks the energy out of the coaches. You'd imagine the conversation immediately after that hurdle, and you've given so much 6v7. All you needed was an opportunity. You have in the picture there the award ceremony of plates. That is the 5th place finishers, the Menengai Oilers. Dennis Abukuse leading that celebration, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Challenge Trophy award. Now, it is a very frustrating thing, Oscar. So imagine the conversation the coach would be having with that player.
You know, we mentioned earlier the likes of Swarthmore Leos, playing all the way to the edge, but not risking it beyond the 5 meter towards the touchline and stepping back. And most of their players just keep bringing the ball back there. So it is frustrating. It's called game awareness as well. I mean, the player should know at what point of the game they are in. Buzzer's gone, you're behind by 7 points. You'd think with the possession, you'd want to keep that going. Remember, Kenya Harlequins lost to Nakuru in the quarterfinals this morning because Nakuru just built up about 10 phases, even after the buzzer had gone. They scored about 2 minutes over the time. That's about 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Did score Nakuru simply by keeping the ball eventually. And they did play edge to edge. But then again, these are some of the things that happen in a game of rugby.
Well, so much to talk about. However, we have a game kicking off. Our center referee in the picture there, just getting ready, counting the numbers. Kabrai Sugar. Now, the case of this game, Nakuru punching really above their weight, beating the defending champions, losing in the semis. Do you think that maybe this would be one game far too much for them?
That is how the semi-finals looked like, because they were well beaten there by Swarthmore. But they would have picked up a lot of encouragement from that game, especially having beaten the defending champions. And it's an opportunity. I think the players will take this opportunity. I know Coach Ouma would say that some of the players would have to show what they're made of in a game like this one, playing against Cabras, who themselves are no slouch, Walter. And as I say that, one of the reasons why they were bundled out by KCB is those unforced errors.
Yes, rising up there, taking the ball well, but Roy Maruti losing concentration there for a minute, knocking the ball on. Well, allowing Nakuru at least bit of possession.
If they continue making those kind of errors, I think Nakuru will have an opportunity here. To be fair to Cabras, that scrum response was emphatic.
Well, Cabras strike to give you that image of a team that, I mean, that the fact that they didn't make that cup final would be making them hard. However, they know that they are a better team than the position that they are currently playing.
Certainly, and with respect to Nakuru, they're showing a lot of respect for Nakuru here in terms of how they're approaching this game. As we see there, Mwanyi and Wekesa just manhandling the Nakuru player.
Because look at it, every opportunity to go for the ball, they're challenging that. They're challenging the line out, they're challenging the scrum, they're challenging the breakdown. You try going to contact, they hold you up. So it's a struggle for Nakuru to at least play some rugby.
I would argue, based on what that feedback is, that perhaps Cabras are just a little bit that more powerful than the Nakuru player in terms of strength here. So Nakuru probably have to move the ball a bit more. Not necessarily missing passes, but it does work here eventually. And it's a try, as I say that.
And Nakuru are feeding off these mistakes by Cabras. You'd say that Cabras have so much power, but too little brawn.
Well, the two powers have both power and brawn. But I think the opportunity for Nakuru might not be to take them on up front, unless they really have to, and maybe move the ball a bit more. I thought there, if they just moved it without the miss pass, there was an opportunity to score, but eventually it was a missed tackle. I think it was a missed tackle there at the end.
But all this, Nakuru are earning the right to play from the Cabras mistakes. It's Cabras who are not
Correct.
able to execute.
Correct.
And you know, it then leaves Nakuru with nothing but an opportunity to attack.
It was a Cabras lineup. They got it comfortably. There was no pressure there. And there was a knock on then on that, after that line out. And then here we see a missed tackle by Lamek Ambetsa. You think you'd take that tackle at the end there. But the missed tackle, again, as you say, creates an opportunity. They take that kick off very well, do Cabras.
Once again, possession with Russ. Sketa Mutua. Lamek Ambetsa taking on the defensive line. This is the third and fourth playoff match. Coming back against the grain, looking for work is Kevin Wekesa. Having to deal with Chris Ojuang Jalupo. Roy Maruti has seen clean grass ahead of him. That is a young man from the western side of the country, former Koyonzo. And a beautiful gesture there immediately after scored, celebrated. That is very, very good sevens rugby. Put the head down, pin back your ears.
There was a line speed defense in the middle of the field there by Nakuru, but Maruti just stepped off his right leg here, leaving the Nakuru defense.
I think Roy knows he's a talented young man. You can see the confidence, the way he scored his tries. He must be up there with the among us the top try scorers for this event.
Well, like I said, we'll check the statistics. We always like to do that. I did speak to some of the people here working with the 7 series regarding the statistics, and it would be good to see some of these statistics here. And you're right, maybe perhaps Roy is up there. And with Sketa himself, he's been doing well for Cabras. Look at that kickoff, they get ball back. Some people did argue that maybe Sketa should have been involved with the 15s, as like I said, it's taken there.
Chris Ojuang making it personal. He never wanted to let Kevin Wekesa beat him. Back tackle there, perfect technique. Cabras swinging it out wide. That
Again,
is Mutua, Brian Mutua. Taking a minute there to grasp some air.
Yeah, Mtua there just breaks the Nakuru defense with a simple fend and step and goes under the post there. Poor defense here this last 2 minutes or so from Nakuru. And that, as you were saying, Walter, earlier, mistakes from Cabras were allowing Nakuru to score. Now, Nakuru with the errors are allowing Cabras to score. And I'm seeing a yellow card here by the center referee. I think we'll do a kickoff with a penalty with it. There seems to be an issue here. Center referee has yellow carded.
Okay, Joel. No, Chris Ojuang is the rightful card owner, if you might say it.
Yes. Not sure what he did there.
And having a chat there with Wekesa, something to do with a small battle within the battle itself amongst the Kenya Sevens players. Well, we'll love to see it. It is the SportPesa National 7 Circuit. Those are the moments. That is what it's all about. But the next 2 minutes for Chris Ojuang as he serves his ban. The hooter also about to sound as we head into halftime. The third and fourth playoff match, a match between Kabrai Sugar and Nakuru. After this, we'll have the second final. That is the second division final. And then we'll have the Division 1 category final. So sit back, relax, and enjoy more rugby coming your way. The big cup final will be Strathmore Leos taking on KCB. Get us in the comment section to know exactly who you're supporting. Who between KCB and Strathmore Leos will carry the day today at the Driftwood 7 SportPesa National 7 Circuit 2025. Nakuru there wanting to score before they head into halftime. Probably the best time to score with one man in the sin bin. That advantage still with Cabras. Cabras hoping to keep it alive, and that would be the halftime break. The halftime scores: Cabras Sugar 14, Nakuru 5.
Sponsors and partners, our gaming partners, SportPesa, our hydration partners, government, Tikoha, our ticketing partner, Beach Sports, our 2025-2026 season jersey sponsor, Distributor, advertising and marketing partner, Wavema Property, real estate partner, Backmark Holdings, our tournament and season partner, forgetting our host, Master Sports. Thank you to our partners and sponsors, Total Energy, Tournament Energy Partner, Local Limited, our outdoor purchases partner, Grooming Partner, KCB Group, our tournament banking partner.
Look at the second half kickoff going on here by Jackson Sketa. He takes it, kicks it high up there into the Mombasa sky. Javan Nakuru with the ball here. He gets apprehended. There's an attempt there by Mutua for the ruck contest. Show and go here by Nakuru. Is that a turnover by Wekesa? Now he says he didn't release. So you have to go 10. No tackle release there, according to the referee. Nakuru up to kick for touch. They do get touch. Brian Mutua there with the fend, they take him back. Yeah, no clear release there, says the referee. Good defense here by Nakuru. The main business here as they are back to the full complement. But Ombaso Cyprian seems to be in trouble. I think he landed with his head here. There's an awkward landing there by Cyprian Ombaso. Looks to have banged his head on the floor there. Medical team just making sure he's okay.
Love shoes. Google Motorcycles, our mobility partner. World Solution, our sanitation partner. KTS Drapers, Limited.
There's 2 more games to go here with the big final coming up in about 30 minutes. But first we have to finish this one. The 3rd place playoff between Kabras Sugar and Nakuru. And then the Division 2 final coming on immediately after that. And then after that, it's the big one. Strathmore Leos, who have been really, really efficient this weekend, take on KCB. Ombaso just gingerly walking out there. Looks like he landed awkwardly, Cyprian Ombaso. Seemed to have been tackling the player, but somehow got his head stuck in the wrong place and sort of banged his head on the floor. But he looks good for now. But I don't think he'll be continuing with this one.
Scrum down. Kabras. Skater. Salano back into Ambeta, who gets Brian on a short line. Ambeta. Roy pins the ears once again. An elusive customer, that one, Roy Maruti.
When the passes do stick, Walter, Kabras are a formidable side. Unfortunately, sometimes they seem to have a good structure, but just that little occasional unforced error there makes a difference, especially in semi-finals when you're playing the likes of KCB. They do punish, and eventually those small margins make a difference in the semi-finals or a quarter-final. But in this case here, Kabras score after some really neat play there. Eventually, Roy Maruti with a try.
Rest 21, Nakuru 5. Well, a big shout out to Ticini.co.ke offering live scores as it happens. It is live. And there are the injury replacements coming onto the pitch. Lukusi and Eric Cantona. Back in action, Nakuru FC. Victor Matiko finding Chris. Nakuru. Big bump there on the edge. Player not rolling away. Victor Matiko dishing out the big one. Looking to clear their defensive line. Attack higher up the pitch. Kick for touch. High pass there. Hospital pass, hugging pass. Chris Ojong finished off, but the referee is playing an advantage. Penalty, offside. Cabraswa offside. Javan. Nakuru. Assistant on attack. Opande Bonaventure. Opande Bonaventure, referee playing an advantage. Okeo Joel runs into the oncoming defensive line of Cabras. Ball goes backwards. Makete Wilson, referee playing an advantage. Knock on. Or a scrum advantage. Plays pull back. It is scrum time to Cabras. Perhaps one last attacking opportunity as the clock counts down. Maybe Cabras to test if they're ready for Prinsloo with this.
Yeah, it will be. It is a final after all. If you consider that for you to play a final, to play 6 games, this is their sixth game for both teams. And Nakuru is a formidable opponent, especially for this tournament. So they just try to finish on a high here, Cabras, as they build up the phases here. But again, ball on the floor. It's a knock-on, I think.
Perhaps this is a clear indicator to the coaches on how ready these teams or how ready these players are going into the second leg of the SportPesa National 7th Circuit.
Yes, I think they will have some feedback on this. They do have taken their own videos. But of course, thanks to SportPesa here and Live Eye, they will also pick up some of the extra angles on this one, some extra footage, I would say, as the buzzer goes here. Time running out for Nakuru. Maybe they want to finish on a flourish, but Cabras are so far having none of it.
There is a battle there. I'm sure that is Wekesa, is it? I'm not sure if that's Wekesa and Chris Ojwang. That is an end swing. That is Otieno, who was going to war with Nakuru. Nakuru fashioning the ball, sneaking back. Lukusi, strong defense, marshalling his defensive troops. Kick and chase there by Okeo Joel, but tackled without the ball. Referee asking the question, where do you want to take the ball? Where do you want to restart the game? And that's a tackle off the ball. Quick tap for Nakuru, most probably. Or it will be a set piece. Not sure what they decide. Enoch Obai standing over that, taps, looks up, sees space. Victor Mantiko swings it out wide to Javan. Javan steps back in. Javan offloads to the outside. And that is a try for Nakuru. Try time, Nakuru finishing up strongly. That is Makete Wilson finishing strongly. Javan Otieno stepping back in, offloading to the one man on the outside. And that's a simple put down. Try time, Nakuru.
Yeah, the finish here on a high Nakuru. But unfortunately, they were too far behind here as far as points are concerned. But they will pick up some confidence from this. They can't score against anyone, Nakuru. Remember that wonderful game they had against Kenya Harlequins in the quarterfinals earlier this morning, keeping possession for over 2 minutes with the buzzer having gone. Mental and physical composure as that game comes to an end. It's good to see the camaraderie here between the two teams.
In your picture there, as the ball was offloaded to Nakuru. Nakuru stepping too little, too late, as they would say, but nonetheless, scoring opportunity taken there, and they will be brimming with confidence, knowing that they can make it to the try line. And we are drawing closer and closer to the final game of match day 2, the second day of the opening round of the SportPesa National 7 Circuit. Now the next game, ladies and gentlemen, is the second division final. Zetech Oaks taking on the NY Spades. This is to decide on who proceeds to play in the Division 1 category at the Prince Louis Sevens, the SportPesa National 7 Circuit.
Yes, and Nakuru would have prepared very well for the tournament. I think they finished 4th, so they'll probably lead one of those pools. I think it was there are 4 pools, are they? So Nakuru will be leading one of those pools. As we see here, what I'll perhaps say, usual customers, Walter, Zetech University in a Division 2 final.
Yes, Zetech know what is at stake. They are very good competitors whenever it comes to sevens rugby. I know most of them would have probably wanted to play in the Division 1 category, but I mean, you can only play what's in front of you, and this is the best opportunity for them to make their way to play in the Division 1 category at the Prince Louis Sevens.
Well, it's first of all wonderful to see how consistent they've been. Zetech, obviously sustaining that level has become maybe a challenge for them, but here they are. Zetech taking on NYS, who are also pretty decent side, you'd say. So no surprise there to have Zetech University and NYS in the Division 2 final. And one of these teams will be playing Division 1 next weekend in Nakuru.
Yes, one of these teams will be playing in Division 1 next weekend. We have Brian Ondego getting ready to kick us off. Brian Ondego, brother to Dennis Ndayala, who plies his trade with Mwamba RFC. Brian Ondego is part of the larger Kenya Shujaa 7 side. Bundled into touch, strong defense there coming from the onset, setting out an onslaught on that NYS bouncing ball. Bit of a hot potato there. Bundled into touch eventually. Line out is taken. Defense, attack, NYS versus Zetech Oaks. Remember, the winner here will be going home courtesy of SportPesa with 50,000 shillings. So there is everything to play for in terms of a token from the overall circuit sponsor, SportPesa. And you book your ticket to play in the Division 1 category at this year's SportPesa National 7 Circuit second leg. That will be the Prince Louis Sevens next weekend at Nakuru Athletics Club. So mark the dates, prepare your voices, tell your friends, Nakuru, it's coming. The National 7 Circuit, SportPesa National 7 Circuit is coming to a town closer to you. That is Nakuru. Next up,
Nax Vegas, as they call it.
yes, Nax Vegas.
Tournament has improved over the years, and so has the town, Walter. In my time, there was barely any activity beyond the rugby.
Nakuru is a city now.
But now there's a lot of social amenities, as it should be. As it should be. It's always a wonderful tournament. Nakuru has its own flavor compared to the Driftwood Sevens.
You've seen that call by the referee. There was no hook through that scrum. I think that's the first one we've seen, and it had to come from Division 2.
Well, you will perhaps see some of these level of errors, but they are both decent side. Maybe not as good as they would want to be, especially playing at the Division 1 level, but they are working towards that. That looks forward and knocked on by NYS.
With an advantage.
Yes, they need to play advantage here.
And you know, these broken plays are the dangerous ones. These are those ones that are long-range tries. And you run a risk, especially when you knock on the ball, because it is a rugged defensive line.
Yes, well, if Zitek can move this ball quickly and perhaps keep possession here, Zitek, that looks to be turned over. Yes, it is. Referee saying there that players holding on.
You have a clear picture painted. The tackle is made, the player comes around, and it's a picture-perfect turnover. Very impressed there with the skills of the NYS team. I mean, the other thing about sevens is the ability to retain possession, but also the ability to go and fetch possession whenever you don't have it. There's that mix of defense that where you can probably not challenge the ruck area and just take the tackles until somebody probably knocks on, but there's also that opportunity that arises with a risk of going in for the jackal.
Well, the ultimate goal for any defensive structure is to get the ball back. Of course, there's a process there, but the reward should be getting the ball back. That looks forward. Again, another forward pass. Yeah, so it's one thing to have a defensive structure. As they do say, every defensive structure, or at the end of every defensive structure is a tackle. And hopefully at the end of every tackle, you try and get back possession, especially if it's the dominant tackle. Zitek here with the scrum put in. As they try to play out of the, just at the edge of the 22-meter here, so about 25 meters out of the tie line. The show and go here. If I wanted to release that ball, eventually they do, but the juggle here by Ondego. Good smart play there by Zitek. And they keep possession. Hopefully they can move this. Looked a little bit flat. So the pressure coming in from NYS. Oh, it's an overthrow pass here, a long pass above the head. The knock on it goes to hand to NYS. They too return the favor, NYS, and have a knock on themselves. Still scoreless here. About a minute and 25 seconds to go. Remains scoreless between the A1NYS Spades and Zitek University. Wrap-around play here by Zitek, well executed by the ball carrier, but poorly received by the support player. Yeah, a little bit frustrating. It's a good loop and ball presentation there, but just lack of concentration. Gives possession back to the NYS Spades. 20 seconds to go here. Maybe NYS can get something out of this one, but good scrum pressure from Zitek. NYS still keep it. Step off the right, step off the left, offload. Tackle here in the rack for NYS. Pass to the floor and a knock on, but referee says that there was an infringement there at the rack. This looks like a last play here for NYS Spades, and they choose to go for touch here. They do go for touch, they just miss it here. Ball kept in very well by Zitek, but again they knock on, and this time I think it's half-time. They are scoreless here, evenly match these two teams. No surprise why they're in the final. Zitek University 0, NYS Spades 0. NY Speds kick us off for the second half. Tap back there by Zitek. Under pressure, I think he just knocks that on as he falls there. Zitek under pressure here. 30 meters out. Stable scrum there from NYS. The switch play there. Tackle in the middle, but it gets up. Referee says it's fine. I think they have to release this time. The rack. I'm not sure that's what they want to play, NYS, with the pick and go off a middle rack. And eventually they lose it there to Zitek. As we get a shot there of Anderson, the scrum put in for Zitek. I know Anderson very well, having coached him at Impala, one of our academic graduates there at Impala, now studying at Zitek University. Anderson with the put in here, breaks the line and kicks it deep. Kick and chase here by Zitek University. He does have support, Anderson. Looks like a knock on that one. Referee says he went back. Well marshaled there by Zitek. Good defense. But somehow NYS managed to get the ball away. They go right at the edge here, do away NYS. But an infringement with the rack player coming in, support player just went off his feet. Another line break here by Zitek. Hard running here from the university students and giving defensive trouble here to NYS. Went back, good offload there. And again, another player gets bundled into touch. I'm really curious to see here when teams play right at the edge of the touchline and manage someone to bring the ball back. Does it always get into a score? Because certainly when you get bundled into touch, you lose possession. I would argue that if the players can manage to stay in, they give their teams an opportunity. As you see a try there by eventually Zitek University do score, even having lost the possession there after an overthrow. No, it wasn't an overthrow, just a one-handed attempt there by NYS. The ball was in hand. They should have used both hands, you'd think, and secure that ball. Easier to catch it with two hands. And the error there gives Strathmore an easy, Zitek an easy score. So in 2 minutes and about 40 seconds here, Zitek lead this one, 5-0. Kick high, doesn't go deep. NYS decide to play it. Just getting into a lot more contact, NYS. They seem to having some doubt about spreading the ball wider. Perhaps they could string a few more passes they may have created an opportunity for themselves. They did earlier, and they did get some really good territory play, but they are getting caught out in defense here by Zitek. All to play for here. As we see Anderson Oduor break here, passing to the inside. Back to Anderson Oduor. It's a good try there by Zitek. Going all the way to the edge and then stepping back in. And an easy try here by Anderson. Yes, just a presence of mind to know that the support player coming in. And perhaps a good example here of KBA. Once you have a line break, support player must run the right line there. Anderson with the presence of mind there to run the correct line. All the defenders having gone across to his teammate there. And scores an easy try. So Zitek just edging away here from NY Spades, who perhaps will want to make better use of this kickoff coming on now, as a few substitutions are made here by both teams. Referee stops the time here just to complete the process. So Zitek lead this one 10 points to 0. Time back on. Remember, this is your Division 2 final here. Nego chooses to go high and then good take there by NYS. Fantastic fielding there from the National Youth Service players. And a strong carry there at the edge. If you want to move this ball across and take it up as well, just fix the player and pick it out. That's better play from this, but it's teasing with the edge here. Oh. Again, just goes into touch. Another wasted opportunity here by NYS. It doesn't even get tackled. Somehow just loses the ball and get into touch. Smart play there from Zitek in terms of defense. As I said, that NYS get the ball back. Can they move it again? Now they always seem to choose to play it back in, keep it short. I think Zitek would want to get rid of this one. No need to attack up the field. Yeah, so that's enough. Oh, the referee says the buzzer did go, but the ref says his time was still on, but the buzzer did go. Zitek kicked it out thinking the time was over, but the referee says, look, you're still using my clock here. And NYS get an opportunity. Anderson just trying to organize the defense here and tells him to come closer. It's a very good opportunity here for NY Spades. Yeah, it's a pick and go on the blind side. Does he get the ball? Oh, he's still upright, right, and offloads it. But very, very, very tenacious defense here from Zitek. NY Samo keep possession. They will go back in. That's how they've been playing so far. They don't shy away from the contact area. Another carry again, a pick and drive there. And the referee says yes, the clearing player comes from the side. I think Anderson need to check with the referee here whether it's okay to kick this one off. And the referee says so. So full-time scores here. Zitek win this one, Division 2 final. You will have the Zitek University in Nakuru playing in the first division. Zitek Oaks 10, NY Spades 0.
you to read. That is team number 4. The team ranked number 4 at the Driftwood Sevens will be going into Pool A. Team number 4. Thank you so much. Zara, thank you. I'd like for you to remain there, Zara, as you do remove that from, kindly take that back, the ball that you placed in. Now the second pool, that is Pool B, headlining that pool from port number A. I'd like Zara to kindly take one ball again from the A marked box. Zara. Look at the number. What is the number, Zara? That is number 2. Pool B will be having the runners-up of this event. Headline Pool B. Pool C. Zara, thank you so much. I'd like for you to get me that. Second, take the ball once again, Zara, from the port A. Headlining Pool C, ladies and gentlemen, show that is the winner of this Driftwood Sevens event. Thank you so much, Zara. Number 1 will be going into Pool C. Thank you. And now finally, take the last ball from the port. Show it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the 3rd place team. And that will be the next teams. I'd like to ask Pratesh from Parkmark to make his way. Thank you, Zara. You can exit the stage. All right, he will be taking band number B. First, going into Pool A. Thank you so much. What's that number? That is number 6. Will be going into Pool A. Second, pick. Like for you to pick the second from the second, that is B. Second team in Pool B. Thank you so much. That is number 5. Then the 3rd. Finally, let's go Pratesh for Pool C. That is number 11. Thank you so much. Hand it over to Morgan on the other side. And then finally, thank you. If I think we've done that. Now time, ladies and gentlemen, for the 3rd. Take one. That is Pool C, the B. That is B, yes. And that slots into Pool D. Thank you so much. I know we await the final, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Pratesh. Thank you. You can now hand over the ball to Morgan. All right, I'd like to ask Beach, Mr. Beach, kindly make your way forward. He'll be in charge of Band C, and he'll be giving us who goes in as the 3rd seed team into every pool. Yes. First team for Pool A, number 10. Thank you so much. That goes into Pool A. Pool B.
No. Take that from the pool C. Yes, the pot. Yes, that one. That will be the second team in pool B, number 12. Pick another ball from that same box. That will be the team going into pool C, number 9. And then finally, one more. Please do. Same box. All right, thank you. Yeah, pick it up. And that will be the final team going into pool D. Thank you so much. All right, time now to ask the Kenya Rugby Union Chairperson, Harry Tokach. Thank you so much, Chairman, Mombasa Sports Club, Mr. Bridge. Harry Tokach, tafadhali going to pool, that is D, band D. The first team picked will be going into pool A. Thank you, number 14. Second pick will be going into pool B. Number 23, number 13, I beg your pardon. Thank you so much. Third pick will be going into pool C, number 16. And then finally, we'll be having the pick that will be going into pool D, number 15. Thank you so much, Harry Tokach. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That has been the pulling draw for the Prince Louis Sevens. Now for the final, coming to you from the Mombasa Sports Club. The final of the 2025 SportPesa National 7th Circuit Driftwood Sevens. Strathmore Leos taking on KCB.
Well, there you go. Pullings for Prince Louis Sevens next weekend. Headline there, Pool A. Seeded first there are the hosts, Nakuru, having finished fourth here at Driftwood. The top 4 finishers here headline those pools. That is Kabras and Nakuru already at the top of their pools. And then one of these teams, either Strathmore or KCB, one would headline Pool C, and then the other one Pool B. But we'll get you those poolings as soon as we can on your screen. As we watch the 2 teams coming into the field now. KCB in your picture there with the hooded students from Strathmore. Strathmore Leos there with some interesting dressing here as they come into the field. Relaxed, composed, high fives all round. They'll need a bit of that composure for this final. because they do have here an opponent equal to the task this evening. Interesting there, walk-in Walter by Strathmore Leos, who did, and perhaps giving an indication just what they are up to today. Center referee ready. His assistants on the touchline are ready. Are you ready? The first final of the National 7 Series here in Driftwood. Cool skies here, weather has cooled a bit. As we kick off this final, KCB go high and short, well taken there by Strathmore. Put their passes together here, Strathmore, as they've done here. No rack so far. Oh, that goal gets off. Brian Aimba there has to take responsibility, says it came off my chin. But the referee said just your left hand. The slight touch there. Gabriel Aimba doesn't agree there, but it's a scrum nonetheless.
KCB looking to split that stubborn defensive line of the Leos. Jenkins, Smadi, Festus shrugs off 1, 2, 3, weak shoulders on the inside channels. Smadi, formerly of the Strathmore Leos. Olukusi. Olukusi makes it look so easy. I mean, the man runs with intent. He never looks for space.
There is no doubt there what Olukusi wanted to do.
It's an unfair fight.
It was David versus Goliath there, that one.
I think we need to stop that fight.
The missed conversion comes off the post. I think Gabriel Aimba should have perhaps assisted his diminutive scrum off here, Mwendwa. But KCB off the mark quickly. Oh, well taken there by Onyala, but it's a good contest here from Strathmore. Onyala claims that it was an infringement, but he took it very well with that kickoff. But a good turnover there from Strathmore Leos. Good kickoff, good take, and also good contest on the rack. That's what you expect in a final, Walter.
Yes, that's exactly what you expect in a final. Brian Mwendo there leading his charges. Diminutive figure at scrum half. Huge heart.
Yeah, don't let his size fool you, Brian Mwendwa. He does try to do an overhead pass, but it's tapped back there by KCB. Onyala there with the ball. He's under pressure, Onyala. Yes, referee sees that. He's trying to play the ball on the floor.
Scully with an improvisation there of a tap and go. The ball has to touch any point of the foot. There with his tall, lanky figure, you know, if he decides to go tap on the floor, he might knock it on. So if he probably tries to juggle it, he also might knock it on. So he goes with the knee.
Well, he was allowed to do that, as we see here, knock on by Mwendwa when he came to pick up that from the rack.
Cabras falling short at the semis. Nakuru also falling short. These two teams going through to the final at the expense of both sides. Floyd Wabuhi just getting the afterburners on. Mwendwa and Gabi trying to square it out. And he races the two down. Try time, KCB.
It was coming across. I was wondering what was going to happen there, Floyd Wabire. But he knew his way to the try line. Looked up, saw Gabriel Ayimba, and felt confident that he would take him out on pace. Did an in out there to the final man, the sweeper there, Brian Mwendwa, and eventually scored at the corner there.
Second try, of course, KCB oozing with class across board. They are packing his pace. A fight for dear try line. Brian Mwendwa couldn't handle. In, out, simple.
In,
but
out,
well,
it was a stop and go.
A deadly combination if it comes out very well. That is a fast moving figure of Floyd Wabire. Nijo going to take his team forward. Kicks. Time to see the chase.
It's a decent kick, you'd think, because it's right at the edge there of the touch line. Does get touch, and KCB will have to be efficient on this line out, because a score here from Swarthmore and conversion just puts them 3 points out.
But they're asking KCB to show them if they are able to execute. But what about them? Why don't you keep the ball and attack and look for space? You see, KCB are able to defend their line. They can be able to execute their line out, and they have the ball now attacking Strathmore. So this might result in a try. And there you have Smadi Festus breaking through the defensive line. One man to beat, and Brian Mwendo hangs on so desperately on the floor there. Counter coming through. The referee allows play to continue. Playing the ball in an offside situation. That is Stansla Shikoli. KCB quickly. Tap and go. Elvis Olukusi, one destination. Gabriel Ayimba knows it.
Does not look confident here. And Gabriel unable to deal with the...
Gabriel Ayimba not able to handle the big figure of a marauding lion in the name of Elvis Olukusi. Olukusi silently has been able to rack up the numbers. You can see the scores, the tries he's been able to score. He takes his team forward. He sort of would be one of those unsung heroes if KCB were to eventually lift this trophy.
I think it's obvious what his work is here, and it's very dynamic. Olukusi, obviously, as you see that try with a fend from a desperate attempt here by Gabriel Ayimba. You'd have thought maybe he'd go lower there. When you come from a big man upright, you expect a fend. You're right, Strathmore did kick deep there, expecting to get a defensive catch there from line out, but KCB have been efficient, and they've used their big men very well here, as we see a knock on here. No.
Play off their feet.
I think it's an infringement here, off the feet.
Well, this is a KCB side with the likes of Samuel Asati here to come back into the fray. You'd argue KCB look to be the most experienced team that has come to these games.
Yes, and the experience is not just in terms of age here, but in terms of rugby hours, both in the short version and the 15s. So it makes a huge difference here in a game like this final, where you can control the pace. KCB, and they have controlled the pace here so far, leading Swarthmore Leos 15 points to 0, keeping the students silent here at the Driftwood final.
Immediately after this match, we invited in the Johnson village with after party, Roman Rugby Atasio, Abro, and also after the final whistle, kindly the fans not allowed to enter the pitch. As they do so,
Andrew Amonde there, Kenya Shujaa, SNC coach, looking very composed. Willis Ojal, Foxy still just giving feedback right at the end there with an animated Charles Kadovilis, just pushing the boys there, asking more for them, some energy. Kadovilis seems to be asking. Walter, perhaps this is a justification to your statement earlier when you said perhaps the final between, rather the match between KCB and Cabras was the final before the final.
Yes, they were always going to produce the team that was going to be the biggest hurdle in the final. KCB proving that in that first half of the final of this year's SportPesa National 7th Circuit Driftwood Sevens. Elvis Olukusi has been able to give his fair share of service to KCB. KCB, remember, are the financial banking partner of this tournament. Many thanks to that in terms of support. KCB with a second half to finish. Strathmore with a second half, an opportunity to hunt down points. Interesting to see Vincent Onyala with a big carry there, running straight into Brian Mwendwa. Strathmore Leos quickly win it, tap and go, and that is Barnabas Owuor with all his experience. Freshly graduated and scores a try for the Strathmore Leos side. Barnabas Owuor.
Well, if you can't beat them, join them. He does an Olukusi there, Barnabas, and carries straight, and Wendwa converts. And as we say that perhaps the Cabras game with KCB was the final before the final, the students here just
if there was any team that was needed to score next, I think Strathmore Leos were needed to score next in that.
Definitely. It's a good kickoff. It's a really good kickoff, but KCB very efficient there with that take. With Mohati showing his strength there, Bob. That lift. Nyala with a nice flat pass there. Floyd Wabwira stepping back in, and Nyala again sends the ball away. Crisp carry follow to Mohati in the middle as you would expect. But the ball not rolling away, rather the player not rolling away there. Strathmore number 13, Malemba, was stuck there into the racks. And it looks like Kipruto there, Jack, is just milking that penalty. Tying Amalemba's feet there literally and forcing him to stay in the rack, and the referee judged him not to roll the way. Set piece to set piece here for KCB as they kick the ball downfield and just calmly. This is final sevens here from the bunkers.
Yes, KCB remaining strong. Tapped backwards by Elvis Olukusi. Shipped, knocked on. Leos with yet another chance. 4 minutes. Lots of time left. Quick tap there by Gabi to Nijo. Nijo shows, hoping for the gas man on the outside. Will be able to ban. Offloads back. Tapped backwards. KCB survived that attack. Bob Mohati. Elvis calm under pressure. That probably would have been that time when you get somebody kicking the ball. But Elvis wouldn't have kicked possession. But KCB surrender possession to Strathmore Leos, a forward pass.
Nyala there with the forward pass.
That's a labored pass there. You can see the energy levels. It has been a very tough 2 days. You would forgive them for being a bit lethargic towards the end there.
you'd also expect Onyala to give a better pass with no pressure there.
Yes, the opposite is also true.
Yes, but finals do get the best of you. And Strathmore, interesting here, opportunity with about just under 3 minutes to go. Went off the scrum feed here for Strathmore. If they do score quickly here, I'll get a 7-pointer. Then it becomes interesting. That looks like a knock-on.
A knock-on in the tackle. Referee should be playing an advantage, probably a penalty advantage. Is it? Ofula looking to take on Floyd Obuire. That advantage not being gained. It's a high tackle.
Yeah, it is a high tackle.
That is Floyd sent to the bin. Facial expression shows it all. 2 minutes. Strathmore Leos, if anything has to come out of this, they have to score.
Floyd will want to quickly get to the naughty chair so that perhaps he can come back for the last few seconds here. Otherwise, it gives Strathmore an opportunity.
Yes, he does. See that. And his 2 minutes.
That was a Ngeta tackle there by Floyd Obuire.
Brian Mwendwa poses. The defensive line comes up. Alton Amalemba with a very good defender in Emmanuel Opondo. Rarely do you get to see Emmanuel being beaten 1v1. Wafula gets the long pass coming out wide. That is Bob Mohati and company making the tackles. Gabi Ayimba stepping right into KCB. Wafula coming off the ground and picking the remnants of that tackle attempt by what the referee calls. I'm not sure what the call is.
It's an offside. Across the other side.
Enough time.
No advantage there for Strathmore, so he says offside, right at the other end of the field.
Still enough time.
You just need to score here, Strathmore. Doesn't matter whether...
Maybe 3 or 7 or 5. They actually need at least 3 points.
Well, it doesn't matter where they score on this one, I think, with just under 2 minutes. If they score, make it 12-15, then the kickoff, I think there's an opportunity for them to again play again, because they are, remember, have one-man advantage. KCB taking the time to come for this scrum. I'm not sure that was the right call from Strathmore, because this is...
No, one-man advantage, it gives them...
it does, but
it's into the time. All they need is to score and hopefully have a kickoff. That's the most important thing.
Well, time is the enemy here. I hope the referee has stopped his time, because our clock seems to be moving. I would think the referee should have stopped his time here. He now calls for the time back on.
Yes.
So there's about 20 seconds on that clock.
Or more.
Or more, yeah.
KCB will be looking to challenge this scrum down. They'll be going at Strathmore Leos. You can see there. Tap and go. Brian Mwendo taps quickly, dives and scores. He knocks it on.
Were they 10 meters on that?
No, they can't be 10 meters out because the scrum was 5 meters out of the try line.
No, sorry, but were they back?
5.
5, yes, but... No, it calls a
Brian.
Mind, I think is embarrassed there, but it is a scrum. KCB
survived that. That could be the most important moment for them, because had they scored that, it meant that the last play would have been one challenging, daunting task.
Well, there's time here for a scrum. As we see Brian Mwendo there. Was a foot.
He actually fell on Onyala's foot.
Yeah, it's a penalty try. Penalty try here. I tell you what, that is a penalty try for play by KCB. I think there's a foot there on Brian Mwendwa, and there is time for kickoff, because while our clock seems to have gone, the try was scored before the buzzer, so there's time here for kickoff.
Yeah, that is exactly what we were talking about. They needed that restart immediately after scoring.
I'll tell you what, there's everything on this restart. Everything's going on this restart.
Yes, you put all the money on that restart. KCB looking the ball to bounce backwards. Strathmore Leos looking for the ball to bounce forward. And that is the end of that. KCB celebrate at the full-time whistle. It is a win in the bag. The SportPesa National 7th Circuit first weekend out. The Driftwood 7s claimed by KCB.
Walter, I think let's show some respect here for Strathmore Leos, because we did say perhaps they started poorly in that half. They scored all the points in the second half. It looked ominous for them because KCB seemed to be cruising, but the scores there at the end show that it was a game of two halves. Eventually it was 1 point difference here in the final. KCB win this one and start the 7 series ranked seed number 1, and Strathmore Leos will be seed number 2 going into Prinsloo 7s. At the end there, it was a very close game anyway.
Yes, quite close. Quite close. That result, a 1 point difference. KCB there, basking in the glory. Well, I mean, Oscar, KCB lived up to the billing. They had quite a strong squad on paper, and it's no surprise that they've been able to achieve what they've achieved.
Yes, it's a well-balanced team, and to be, I may add, a well-balanced tactics. At some point, Vincent Onyala was on the bench. The coach seemed to be trusting his 12 players or 13 players and spreading the workload across, with Muhati there with some business to carry. Did carry in the middle, did carry the edges. Lukusi did the same. A bit of running and distribution from Onyala. And somehow that balance came through in the end. And they didn't necessarily depend on one player, but depended on all the 13 players. 12 plus the extra man.
Yes. Jojo Oro making the switch from the Strathmore Leos and immediately being involved in a final against the Strathmore Leos team. Banking on KCB, and he comes out as a victor, champion, as we get ready for the award ceremony. It has been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. We've come to the tail end of this proceedings at the Mombasa Sports Club. It has been a very, very entertaining couple of days. Sevens rugby has come back to life, sprang back to life with the resumption of the SportPesa National 7th Circuit. The fans have come out in numbers. It has been merry around. The family events have come out, and it has been a successful event. Oscar, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's really tough beating the experience that Mombasa has given the fans.
Walter, I will confess to be biased here, having myself spent some time in this town. It's a wonderful tournament. I know it is a tourist destination here. Nice cool weather this time of the year. But Rogers Lai and his team here, the Mombasa Sports Club, have hosted a wonderful, wonderful tournament. Of course, supported by the many volunteers across the board here, sighting officers, referees, volunteers, and all the stewards around the tournament have made this a fantastic experience, not just for the players, but also the fans who came through the last 2 days. If there's any doubt how close the 7th series would be, I think this final is a good example of it. Started strong, KCB, they did, going ahead there in what seemed like an easy lead, but then the students from Strathmore came back through. Next weekend is Las Vegas Prinsloo 7s.
Yes, we have Nakura FC headlining that Pool A. Kenya Harlequins, Kabete Stallions, Mombasa RFC in that order. Pool B, Strathmore Leos, Menengai Oilers, Daystar Falcons, the ZTEC Oaks. That must be a very daunting task to play in that pool.
Yeah, that will be a challenge. And Pool C there, your winners KCB leading that pool, followed by Nondis as the second seed. And then Catholic Monks and Kisumu just finished the order there, third and fourth. And Pool D, the third finishers here in the Driftwood Sevens. Kabrashugo beat Nakuru here, lead that Pool D, followed by Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology. And then the Gongro side, Impala, RFC, and Mwamba just finished that one. That also seems to be an interesting pool, that one, Walter. Sort of evenly balanced there. You'd think Cabras would come out of that one leading, considering that they were third in this so far. It doesn't guarantee them anything. But
Yes.
then again, looking at Oilers, sorry, but that Impala there and Mwamba at the end there, and most, perhaps those three are balanced. So it'll be a bit of a scrap there. All to play for next weekend.
Yes, all to play for as the SportPesa National 7 Circuit makes its second inroads into this year's games. We will be coming to you live from Nakuru Athletics Club, where we will be playing host to this year's second round. That is the Prince Louis Sevens, a tournament brought to you courtesy of Nakuru RFC. Most importantly, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being who you have been over the last 2 days. It has been a joyful ride. We have had highs, lows. We've had so much entertainment, so much on-pitch and off-pitch drama. But most importantly, we've come to the tail end. We have successfully done what needs to be done, and we are ready for the ride of the SportPesa National 7 Circuit. I've been your host. My name is Walter Orangi, signing out.
And Oscar Osir here supporting Walter.
Yes, many thanks, Oscar. You've been a gem. Thank you so much. Your knowledge, your depth, and your experience in all these matters, especially the sevens, is something that we always need to tap from. And thank you so much, Oscar, for coming out.
My pleasure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure coming to you live from the Mombasa